So I've got another EV company that if you get in now, you should be able to double your money pretty quickly. So you want to stay tuned for this one. Hey, what's up you guys? This is Sankey from Stockflix. This is the place where we talk stocks and shares. Now, before I tell you about this EV company that should double your money, please do check out the link down below. It's Trading 212. Grab yourself a free share of stock. Now, I actually had someone who used that link and got a free share of stock of NEO. How cool is that? Now, if you saw my NEO 2021 prediction, that stock should double. So it's pretty awesome. So do check it out. Link in description. Without further ado, guys, let's jump into my portfolio and see what's going on. So guys, on screen is my YouTube growth portfolio, currently standing about £41,000, which is about $50,000 on the road to 100K. Guys, the idea of this is for you guys to jump in on the same plays as me and we both win together. So I started this growth portfolio about 6 months ago and looking to take it to 100K in the next 6 months. So guys, hit that subscribe button, become part of the StockFix family, jump in on plays with me and we'll both win together. It's going to be a very profitable ride. So without further ado, let me introduce you to the EV company we're about to invest in and hopefully double our money. So guys, let me introduce you to Canoe. That is the new EV company we're about to invest in. Now these guys, interestingly, they do both commercial and passenger cars, right? So they do their vans, but they also do the sports car. We don't often see this. We either see one or the other. If you take a NEO, for example, they just do the SUVs, the passenger cars. If you take a workhorse or an Arrival, they just do the commercial vehicles, the vans. These guys, they're trying to do both, right? So that's interesting to note. Now they've listed on the New York Stock Exchange for a merger with Hennessy Capital Acquisition, right? So this is their share price movement of Hennessy Capital Acquisition. So as you can see, they started off around the $10 mark. As soon as the announcement was made, boom, right? So now they're up to about $12.50, yeah? After hours, about $13. So guys, this is the company we're about to jump in at. You know, the first point to note is they're not trading at their maximum. Their maximum was $13, right, back in September before they dropped down. So guys, I think this is a company that hasn't had a massive share price explosion on announcement like a lot of the other companies that you might have seen them pop 80%, 50%. These guys, they didn't pop as much, right? A modest, I think it was about 10% after the announcement. Now, this is how we're going to double our money. Because as you'll see, as I'm reading through more details and filling you in about this company, they might not be a long-term hold. They're more of a short-term hold because their cars are not in production yet. So that's how we're going to double our money. We're going to hold the share price. When all the investors pile in, the share price is going to rise and we're probably going to sell out at the top, right? We're going to lock in some gains. If you want to hold for the longer term, that's also fine, but I'd recommend selling out 50 to 75% of this one. So the first thing to touch on is their design. It's very simple, it's very clean, it's very futuristic. Me personally, I'm not a fan of their B2C cars, their sports car, and their larger people carrier. I'm more a fan of their delivery vans. I think their style suits the commercial side more, but these are just prototypes. It's not 100% confirmed the design, but that's just my take. It's very clean, very simple, very futuristic. So guys, their main USP seems to be in the manufacturing side of their vehicles. So they have this skateboard technology, right, which is like a flat base, which they can almost create any of their models out of very quickly, very easily. So it seems like they're really trying to have a very seamless manufacturing process through this skateboard technology, just the base of the car. That seems to be their main USP. So they go on to say that through this manufacturing process, it enables them to produce their cars very quickly, where vehicle development is only 18 to 24 months at much lower costs than competitors, and that will essentially improve their margins, right? And this is the kind of range of their vehicles. So like I said, they're pretty smart looking vehicles, but I'm more a fan of their commercial style. I think that style suits the commercial market rather than the passenger market, if I'm honest. One thing to note is that they are in partnership with Hyundai. So it says here that they are jointly developing an all-electric platform based on Canoo's fully scalable proprietary skateboard design for upcoming Hyundai and Kia EVs, right? So, you know, they've been recognized by Hyundai and Kia. They like their design, they like their technology, and they've gone for a partnership with them. So that's something notable, right? They're not just any player in the market. They've actually partnered with, pretty big hitting companies, and they're in development for future products. But one thing I want to draw your attention to is the launch dates for some of their models, right? So if you look at their B2C, their passenger carrier, they're looking to launch this in Q2 2022. So it's quite a way off, right? So it's not next year, and it's the midway through the year after. So that's quite a long time to wait to see these guys' products on the ground. Their delivery vehicle is 2023. Their sports vehicle, even later, 2025, guys, so 5 years away. So it's a pretty long time to wait, right? So as an investor, this is getting me a little bit concerned about holding these guys for the very long term, because between now and 2022, 2023, 2025, a lot can happen, right? These guys, they're a very new company. They're still doing a lot of R&D. They're still potentially making a lot of mistakes. Really and truly, you'd want an EV company that was set up years ago. They've done the R&D for the 5 years. Now they're ready to launch, right? When the market's heating up. By 2025, a lot of countries would have adopted their EV policies, right? They would have stripped out a lot of gas vehicles. There'd be a lot of players already in the market who are securing market share. So these guys are just launching, but yet you have big players in the market who, like a Tesla, like a Neo, like the others, who have already captured so much market share. These guys are pretty late to the game. They should be gearing up to get their cars on the road next year, not in 5 years' time. So guys, let me draw your attention to their financials, because it does reveal some interesting things about the company. Now, revenue numbers, they're pretty slow to adopt, right? So revenue by 2025 is set to be about 2 billion. Now, these guys are valued currently at just under 2 billion. So to get up to a 2 billion revenue mark by 2025 is very late. If you just think Neo, for example, is going to hit about 2 billion in revenue this year. These guys are only going to hit that in 2025, right? So they're pretty slow to adopt. The second thing that really stood out to me was their margins. Guys, these guys are forecasting gross margin of 21% and 38% in 2021 and 2022, right? And it kind of tails off. So it's around 30% gross margin. Guys, this is very, very high for a new company. If we think, let's take an example like XPeng, for example. Their gross margin in their Q3 was only 4%. Neo's gross margin is about 12%. Yeah, so these guys think they can have a gross margin in year one of deliveries of 30 to 40%. Guys, it's way, way too high. It's way too punchy in this scenario. So, really and truly, they would probably be negative gross margin for at least 1 or 2 years after they've launched their first model on the ground. Again, their EBIT margin, they're estimating they're going to be EBITDA positive by 2024. Again, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Neo, XPeng, they're not EBITDA positive yet, right? And these guys think they're going to do it by 2024, just 2 years after they've launched their first car. So I think that these numbers, they're pretty off. So as an investor, I'm pretty uncomfortable with them. I can't foresee these guys actually hitting these numbers. I think there's going to be a very low scale up till they get to this point. The revenue growth is way too slow, and the actual revenue number is way too slow. The revenue growth is fine, but the margins are way, way too high. So long term, I'm not too bullish on this company, but I think we can play this and double our money. So let me draw your attention to Solo. Solo reminds me a little bit of Canoe in the sense that they don't have cars on the ground and they're looking to launch their cars next year or year after. But we've seen what happened to their share price, a big explosion, right, of about 200% up to that $10, $11 mark. And I recommended Solo to you guys at about $6, right? So there was the opportunity there to pretty much double your money, and they've kind of clawed back. And that's what's going to happen to these guys. They're going to explode up. There's going to be a lot of hype around the stock when a lot of people catch on, and then they're going to tail off because the date for them to launch their cars is just way too far in the future, right? They've got no real good market news. They've got no real momentum to sustain a share price like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invest in them, and then I'm going to drop out when I see that the share price has exploded up, so lock in some of my gains. If they have released any good positive announcements, whether they have potential orders or made new partnerships, that will determine the stake that I keep in this company, guys. So there is a real opportunity to double our money on a company that's not very popular at the moment, was not really in the public eye, but long term, it's a very, very speculative play. So guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. Please do hit a like on this video. It really, really helps the channel out. Please do comment down below. Are you thinking about getting yourself some Canoo stock? What other EV stocks have you bought recently? Let's get a conversation going in the comment section. I answer every single question and comment, right? So guys, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all the likes, all the watches in this video. I'm coming to you guys every single day with multiple videos, so please do hit that subscribe button. We're over here to make some good money. So guys, with that being said, I'll catch you on the next one. Take care now.